a large portion of this street is blocked off. The admission center is on Carling Avenue. However, the street we're standing on is Winship Street, which leads into Johnson Avenue, and a large portion of both of those streets have been blocked off by sheriff's deputies' cars. And as I mentioned, there's several deputies surrounding the building. There's some over, as you can see by their cars, over towards the side of the building. And there's also some, as I mentioned, in the parking lot to the left of the building, staying largely with a group of people. We believe there are Mercer University students who cannot get back to their dorms. That's what we're being told by an admissions worker here at Mercer University. We have not seen anybody come in and out of the building as of yet. However, last we were told by a representative of Mercer University, we were told that they were working to clear the building. However, we have not seen anybody enter or exit that building as of yet. And as I mentioned, the Emily Parker Myers Admissions Center, this is where a lot of the campus tours come in and out of, where a lot of them meet before they head out on campus tours, as well as where a lot of admissions activities take place. Although there are still Bibb County Sheriff's deputies on the scene, as I mentioned, there were 2 fire trucks that we saw here as well, Macon-Bibb Fire, that were here. They have since pulled off. They left a few minutes ago. However, like I mentioned, there is still a group of people over in the parking lot of the admissions center, and we're being told that they are students and faculty who cannot get back to their housing areas further across campus. We can also see there's a sheriff's deputy vehicle a little bit a ways off, closer towards some more buildings on the right side of the admissions center. There's also 3 sheriff's deputies vehicles behind us, as well as the 4 in front of us. And there's also another vehicle, a police vehicle, behind the admissions center. However, as I mentioned, I have not seen anybody come in and out of the building from this side. And as I mentioned, a large part of this street, the admissions center is on Carling Avenue, but the street that we are standing on, the street that we are standing on is Winship Street, and a large portion of this street is still blocked off by deputies, the deputies that you see in front of you, as well as 3 deputies' cars that we see behind us. And we're now getting an update from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, which reads that the threat came in at 12:42 p.m. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office assisted the Mercer University Police in response to a bomb threat received at their campus at 12:42 p.m. this afternoon. They say a sweep was performed and the threat was determined to be false. They say that no one was harmed, there was no injuries, and Mercer University will be able to provide us with more details as we have them. But as of right now, that was the update that we just received from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, and they say that that threat was false and that they assisted the Mercer University Police with a sweep of the building of the admission center here on campus, and that no injuries or harm was reported to any students or faculty or persons inside. Again, like we mentioned from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, they have determined that the threat was determined to be false and nobody was harmed, and we will be able to provide you with more details as they come in. Again, we're still live at the Mercer University campus, where we've just received word from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office that the bomb threat that was called in around 12:40 this afternoon was determined to be false. According to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, they helped the Mercer University Police Department respond to the threat around 12:42 this afternoon. As you can see, there are still very much deputies' vehicles parked on the street, and there is still a group of people in the parking lot of the admissions building where the threat was largely concentrated, and I am being told by an admissions staff member that they are students who are not able to get back to their housing areas. However, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office has just confirmed that that threat was determined to be false. They did perform a sweep according to a release that was sent to us, and they confirmed that nobody was harmed, no injuries were reported, and that Mercer University will be able to provide us more details as they come in. But again, if you're just joining us, it's Olivia Dunn with 13 WMAZ, and we have determined that, and we have confirmed with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office that this bomb threat at the Mercer University campus was determined to be false. That is according to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. And again, this threat was largely concentrated at the Emily Parker Myers Admissions and Welcome Center. As you can see, there is still a deputy presence here, multiple Bibb County Sheriff's deputies' vehicles. There was 2 fire trucks that were also here earlier that pulled off. However, we're seeing some traffic that's starting to move through now. And again, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office has determined that this threat was false, and no injuries were reported. However, like I mentioned, there's still a group of people in the parking lot of that admissions center, and I'm being told by an admissions worker here at Mercer that they are students who cannot get back to their dorms because it's blocked off by the deputy vehicles here. However, like I mentioned, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office just confirming to us that that threat was determined to be false after a sweep of the building with the Mercer University Police Department. We can now see several sheriff's deputies gathering in the middle of the street. As I mentioned, this threat was called in, Bibb County Sheriff's Office was called in to help assist Mercer University Police with this threat sometime around 12:40 p.m. Now, deputies are directing other deputies to certain areas of the building. We see some walking down Windstop Street. Multiple sheriff's deputies speaking now. They're telling us to move back, actually. They're telling us to move back further down Windstop Street. Also, as you can see, the group of people that was standing in that parking lot appearing to be allowed to move through that parking lot now, as well as a Mercer University police vehicle moving through the parking lot as well, too. Again, we're being told to move back by the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. However, we can see that that group of people I was talking about in the parking lot is now being allowed to move across the street after being held in the parking lot while the sweep was being conducted. We can also see a Mercer University police vehicle exiting the parking lot of that admission center. But again, we are being told to move back by the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. As you can see, still multiple deputies' vehicles on scene with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. However, a Mercer University police vehicle, as well as a Bibb County Sheriff's vehicle, are leaving the parking lot of the admission center currently. That is where that threat was concentrated. We're also being told that Mercer University students were instructed to shelter in place while this investigation was ongoing. However, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office again confirming to us that the threat was determined to be false after conducting a sweep of the building. They also confirmed that no harm was reported. As you can see now, multiple sheriff's deputies' vehicles moving about the street, Windstop Street. They have just told us to move back further from the admissions building. Again, there were 2 fire trucks on scene as well earlier that have since pulled off. But as I mentioned, still a large presence of sheriff's deputies' vehicles here. Although this threat was determined false, confirmed by the Bibb County Sheriff's Office to us, it is unclear if Mercer University students, if that shelter-in-place order has been lifted. However, as I mentioned, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office confirming to us that the threat was false after responding and sweeping the building with the Mercer University police. And again, this scene is largely concentrated near the school's Emily Parker Myers Admissions Center, which we were a bit closer to earlier. Bibb County Sheriff's Office deputies telling us to move back about 50 yards. And from where we're standing, we can see about 7 Bibb County Sheriff's deputies' vehicles still on scene. Again, as I mentioned, 2 fire trucks were also on the scene earlier, but have since left. However, it's unclear if there are still sheriff's deputies surrounding the building. Again, we were advised by the Bibb County Sheriff's Office to move back from the scene just a minute ago. We also saw a large group of people moving from the admission center parking lot down towards a closer area of campus. I'm being told by someone who works in the admissions building that that was to allow them to get back to their housing areas. They were being kept in the parking lot for a bit. I saw probably roughly 20-25 people in that parking lot. And although the Bibb County Sheriff's Office did confirm that this threat was false, again, we are still seeing a large deputy presence. There's still a large group with them gathered on Windstop Street. And we're still here at the Mercer University campus, and we are still, it's an active scene here. There's still multiple sheriff's deputies on this street near the, Emily Parker Myers Admissions Center, where a bomb threat was called in earlier this afternoon. However, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, again, determining this threat was false, and we will update this story as more information comes in, as Mercer University is able to